Hey all, once again, and welcome to the Customized Dog Charlotte Anime Book Club podcast. I'm your host Spidey, and today we have Biscuit Dough.
Yo, yo, yo.
And joining us once again from his long vacation, Pepe.
Nice to see you guys again. Hello.
It's been too long, Pepe. How's your trip?
It was fun. I've been very busy despite it being a vacation technically. But anyway.
He gets back to Japan and gets right back to work by making sure to pick up everyone's Charlotte CDs.
I guess technically Japan is the vacation.
Not necessarily. But anyway.
Anyway. So you're here to present your very first 30-second recap, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and I hope you guys will enjoy it.
No problem, when you're ready.
I'll be sure to judge it very severely.
Oh, okay. I need to live up to Biscuit Dough's potential. In this week's episode of Charlotte Ho in Kyoma, the Onichan successfully time leaps in order to save the world and his little sister while they're at it. He finds the rest of the X-Men, and after time leaping through hundreds of wasted birthday cakes and story potential, he finally builds Mutant Academy. Fast forward to the future, Siskon Onichan is convinced to use his power to become Ho in Kyoma and save his lolly. He goes back and steals her power, and despite their plan being delayed by Yusa's spit, they ultimately defeat Yandere-chan and the lolly lives to see another day.
Hey, he went under time. 29 seconds.
Hey, nice. Perfect.
So, what'd you think of the episode, guys? What'd you think, Pepe?
They played us like a damn fiddle!
Let's just say, all the other episodes I was able to ignore the not so good writing because I genuinely enjoyed it. Like, I was excited to see what happened. Whereas this episode wasn't as exciting. Like, I posted on the forum how I think it would have been better if Ayumi died once again and you had to time travel again to save her. And I didn't think of that as a story, something for the story, but I thought of that as a viewer because I wanted to be more entertained. This is me implying that the thought of Ayumi dying again will entertain me. I'm so bad. I'm sorry.
I thought it was at least a little bit exciting up to the point where they
moderately
saved
good. I thought there were some good pieces. There's a lot that just kind of it felt like you watched the episode and you're like, all right, well, that was that. But there were like a few pieces that were kind of good. Like I did like the Shunsuke development because we came out of this episode actually liking him. I did anyways, like liking him a lot more than I had first kind of viewed him.
I guess that's true.
He wasn't slimy like people were saying. Right?
Yeah, he's actually
he really
he's a pretty cool guy.
He
gave up
playful.
everything just to help his buddies.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I was expecting anyway.
I think that's why it wasn't exciting because it's pretty much what we expected.
Yeah, everything in this episode is like what we expected, for better or worse.
I think that's why the first time I watched it without subtitles and I was able to understand most of it.
My issue was the tone of this episode wasn't very good. Whenever we come from, we had a few episodes that were, really intense, and then you come to this one where, you would think something as intense as repeated time travel and the kind of effects that it would have on somebody who has to bear with it. You think that they would kind of take it in a little bit more, at least neutral or darker perspective, but this is kind of light-hearted? It was kind of weird, I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed like they focused a whole lot more on kind of Shunsuke's friendships and him being a nice guy and their family being super happy, as opposed to it being more of him kind of having to bear the burden of trying to save the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of family, there's still no family in the
even the whole,
Yeah.
they didn't give a second thought to him turning blind. It's just, yeah, I gotta do it. It'll be my last chance, but,
Yeah, that too.
I feel like this is a big deal, and they're kind of playing it off. But, again, time limitations, yeah.
We just got more bromance between him and Pooh. You better come find me.
I don't know, watching this episode, it kind of made me feel very negative, I guess, for the whole series. Because I was really hoping this episode would turn things around, and it didn't at all. It's just following the same track as everything else up to now, but also, in a weird way, kind of like spitting in the face of it. I don't know.
When I viewed this episode in a more even-minded kind of view set and not so critically, I viewed it mostly as just a big lull and like a false sense of security. Because basically everything happens as you would kind of expect it to. For like, it's just everything was too perfect whenever whenever things came to pass, especially with the rescuing of Ayumi. But I think that at least that aspect of it was definitely intentional, because by the time I finished the episode, I was just kind of like, God damn it, they saved her. I thought about it for a second. I was like, well, whenever you think about time limitations, instead of going and pulling a fake out, they decided to go ahead and give you what people would probably want from the get-go.
Yeah.
But now you can actually sit and be like, well, wait a second, we've got a few more episodes to go. So I was just kind of like, that was kind of where I ended up going. We're still not at the end yet, and I continue to feel that way.
Three episodes is not enough to be like, to finish the series, but it's barely enough to make a new climax. Maybe.
I walked out of this episode feeling like that was the end, almost. And like, I don't have anything more to see. Yeah. Because everything panned out exactly as I expected, and I'm hating that.
There's still too much in the series that is like, there's still too much that's just interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could just be a part of the too large universe being put into a too small time period, but...
Yeah.
There's still just a lot of things where I'm just like, man, they could really play with a lot of stuff here, and they can still pull things out of their ass and make it really interesting.
That's kind of what I want to talk about. As you said, there's 3 more episodes. There's so much more that they could go into. They might not. They might. But I even made a list of things that missing threads that I think the show could touch on. We have stuff like the opening lyrics still don't make any sense in any kind of context. I was really hoping that it'd make sense in this episode, but...
Actually, I have something for that.
Okay, go on.
That was in this episode. You remember when Now was talking about why she didn't let you just take over the other people's powers from the get-go? One of her reasons was she was afraid as to what kind of monster you would become.
I think that's actually a really interesting kind of thing that you can play with Hugh's character when you think about his power and what it really means. Is that if he did go around and pick up a shitload of powers that he can't control, then he really would become a monster.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like he would just become a walking death trap,
Yep.
Yeah, so
especially because he has plunder now, which is not good.
He's always had plunder.
He
has collapse now.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely not good.
That's the one. I'm very tired.
Sorry, but let's talk about the episode title, episode 10.
The
Aniplex official subs called it Looting, which is very weird because the last episode they called his ability Plunder, but now it's Looting. And I thought that was very strange when I first read it. It's like Sasuga Aniplex just like changing the name of his power after an episode. But I think there was a reasoning behind it.
Okay.
It's entirely possible that like they're just like completely off here. But I notice a lot of bloggers have been going around with this theory of what the word Charlotte means. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so like I believe this was circulating on a few Japanese blogs. I don't know if that's where it started or what, but basically they reckon it's an acronym for the different powers. So we have C for collapse, H for hypnotism, which would be Mediki, A for ascertainment, which would be Kumigami seeing people's powers, R for remove memories, L for looting, not plunder, O for obscure, which would be Tamori's like being able to obscure people's perception, T for teleport, T for time leap, and E for evocation, which would be Yusa's power.
And emblazement, which is Misa's.
Yeah, so you could like substitute these with other powers, and like it's not that hard to make an acronym with powers, but it is something. I don't know. Like, I think that would at least be the reasoning why they changed it to looting in the case that, oh, that's actually what's going on. And
Uh,
so,
I need
does it have
to
a deeper
check
meaning? Or
I need to check the Japanese in order to do that. That'll be my
these are
homework.
English words though. This isn't like the Japanese words. This is the
Well,
English word.
if it's the same in Japanese, then I think that Aniplex just fucked up. If they refer to plunder as the same word as the episode title, then they fucked up. But if they refer to plunder as a different word in Japanese and the episode title is a different word, then there could be some
That's what I
meaning
would
to
say. I
it
would want
that
to. You'd
we.
want to check the character for whatever they used for looting and plunder and like
I
cross.
I don't remember
Two.
what they used in the anime, so that's my homework. I'll try to make a comment once the podcast is out.
No problem. You can reply in the discussion.
Yeah.
No problem. All right. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if there's some deeper meaning to it, but it's something.
Better
Um,
than nothing.
yeah. I just thought I'd touch on it. So what else do we have? We have the meteor or the comet is completely like unexplained. Like it's obviously featured heavily in the promotional artwork. The very first episode we see it, and Ayumi brings it up, but we still have no idea what relevance it has to the plot yet. I
Mm-hmm.
still like Bowie's
Mm-hmm.
idea that it's a symbolism for like youth and how transient it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we still don't know what's going on there. So I think they'll have to go into that in the next 3 episodes, whatever it is.
Definitely. Three
Or it can
episodes
make
is
for
still
the.
a lot.
It can make for a happy ending. Prediction time.
Oh,
Um,
already?
yeah. You could do like something along the lines of this, where we have all these time leaps and people who have different memories, and things are kind of going back and forth. Where certain people know things, certain people don't know things, and someone like you or like Shunsuke have experienced things that other people have not experienced, and that they kind of keep to themselves now, right? So let's just say that things go poorly, and all of our characters end up not really becoming friends in the future because of one thing leading to another, and them all becoming separated, right?
Butterfly effect,
And them
yeah.
not really having memories of one another, so they're all separated. They're not a group anymore because they've time leaped so much that they decided, let's just not meet one another.
It
Let's
would
say
be
that
best for our
happens.
future.
And then
Okay.
let's say our our comet or whatever decides to show up, and they all see it on the same day. They all watch it, but they're
That'd
all
be
separated. And
that
it's
would be a
super,
nice.
super sappy and sad,
Yeah.
but they all watch
It would be so bittersweet, and I would love it if
it.
they
Yeah.
did
I
that.
like how I
But
had to specify same day. I don't know why I did that, but anyway.
But yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
anyway.
that has a nice feel to it. I can see something like that happening.
Because I mean,
Um,
it's an event, okay? That's what Ayumi says. It's an event. It's going to happen once, and then they'll never see it again in their lifetime, right?
yeah,
But obviously, that's kind of like a joke because you have time leaping, so one could technically see it multiple times, right? So like maybe they'll see it one way, and it'll be in a not so good way, and then they'll have to time leap, and then they'll all see it again on their own way, and maybe you will. It'll be super sappy and bittersweet. It'll be great.
it almost ties into the promise to come back home, doesn't it?
Yeah, I still don't know what to make of that. I was
Yeah,
thinking
that's
about that
another
just
thing.
like
That's
a
another
few
thing.
minutes ago. It's
And
like all of the stuff that they've given us before Charlotte even aired, we still have no idea what. Well, I guess the dark key visual, we know what that is.
it's like, like
It refers
what
to
is
the
the
alternate
deal?
timeline. Yeah.
What's the deal? Because like when Maida was like hyping this show up, he said there'd be an after story, and I haven't seen anything like that.
Wait, he did?
No, he said there would be something in regard. He said there would be like a final kind of twist arc type thing
Yeah.
going
Okay.
on, like he always does. But
Okay.
Yeah. We
I
still
guess-
have 3 episodes. That's ample time for an entire story arc. But
it's just something that comes to
true.
my mind whenever it comes to something along the lines of time leaping in someone who has memories of something, even though they're not allowed to actualize them anymore for whatever purpose. So when I think about that, I'm just like, it'd be really great if anyone who picked up their End albums
Hello.
have listened to Let's Feel Good.
Yeah.
and know the lyrics to that song and what it's about, and then they think about you and Now's relationship, which I know that Canon wants to talk about, but he's not here to talk about it, so we might get to talk about it later for purposes. But I'll just bring that little tidbit in to kind of solidify even more my prediction for some bittersweetness.
I haven't listened to the lyrics yet. I should, like, the translation. I guess I should look into that.
Ain't no translation,
it's
boy.
in English.
It's in English.
Not really that hard
Oh, yeah, you're right.
If you can understand it, but anyway.
It's
If you
pretty
can
easy to
understand
understand.
it.
Well, yeah, it's not like the first GN song
It is
where...
two now. It's two now. I don't even pay attention to the lyrics. I really should.
Fair enough.
They're pretty good.
It
I just
would
wanted
be
to
nice
bring up-
to
I just wanted to
see
bring up
more
Zen, sorry.
more of the GN stuff used because it's arguably the best part of the series.
Other prediction is
Actually-
I want Let's Feel Good to be a final ED. I've said it multiple times, but please let that happen. Or at least be an insert song. Like, please, please, please.
Yeah, we haven't heard it yet, have we?
That all depends on whether Sawa is coming back or not.
She has to, doesn't she? Like, that's another thing. Sawa,
Speaking of Sawa. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of Sawa.
Let's talk about that right now, actually. Let's talk about kind of the elephant in the room in regards to what actually happened in this episode for you saving a Yumi. Because you saved a Yumi, we miss out on a massive piece of development that had happened previously, which Ashley was talking about earlier, touched on. Where Yu doesn't lose a Yumi, he doesn't go bananas and go around stabbing people. And him and Now don't really develop in that regard. He also doesn't meet Sawa, and then they don't talk about his loss of a Yumi, which then makes her connect to him more, and then them get talking and stuff, and he doesn't do anything to help Nao's brother, whose name I cannot remember.
Yeah, Nao's brother.
Did he even get a name?
Yes, he does have a name. I just can't remember it at the moment. But
Okay.
so yeah,
We'll
let's
have to
talk
check
about
this
that. This is kind of there's a big split here that happened.
Yep.
Well, you see, my opinion to that is you already knows what's gonna happen, and he already knows how to make it happen. So I don't think it would be too hard to find Sawa again, give her the same sob story, and bring her again to
Yeah, but can he
Nao's Oni-san.
I don't know if there's a difference here because he can't. What he experienced was something that was very real and powerful that he has now kind of overcome, and now he's got a Yumi back, so he's probably not even thinking about it, to be honest.
Well, yeah, we know Sal's pretty perceptive, so that's the only reason why she talked to
Yeah,
you
she
about
actually
it.
figured it out because he was basically kind of wearing his thoughts on his sleeve. But now it's not so obvious. It's kind of clouded. Like, yeah, he's seen some shit, but now he's kind of in a happier place. I doubt he's even thinking about it.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you was still able to get Sawa to sing for him. He might be able to find a way. He also might not be able to, but either way, I wouldn't be surprised, I think.
But I'm just on the note of Sawa, like, we still don't know anything about her past.
Yeah.
And that's a big, like, not a cliffhanger, what do you call that?
We know she used to be able to see, and now she's blind, and that she
Yeah.
had a sibling that was kidnapped,
There's hella foreshadowing, like,
and she gave up her eyesight to God.
it's strange, isn't it? Like, the
Which
only thing
I
we've
love
seen
her
so
delivery of that line, based off Shiro.
But yeah, like, the other character we've seen that's blind is Shutsuke, who lost his powers, but
But he
Because it-
lost his... Yeah, it's tied into his powers, I think.
it's a time leap thing, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about Sawa. My original theory is still Sawa gave her eyesight in order to keep her powers.
She may be the
Now.
biggest unexplained, like, X of the story so far. And if they go into anything, they have to go into what's going on there.
I'm not sure if
Yeah.
there's going to be more to pick out in GN lyrics specifically. I know Trigger's got some things in it, but it's also just very aptly named in regards to what it accomplished. But the other thing is that before the show even started airing, and this is going to be a little reference to something else, and it's just kind of outside the box, is that Marina actually commented in regards to Charlotte before it really started airing and was talking about Sawa. And she said that she was very surprised because she said that Sawa had it worse than Masami did in Angel Beats.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been anything that actually, like, represents a story that would make us feel much of anything in regards to Cell's backstory. So that leads me to believe that it is coming, or that it at least exists and Maida knows it and hasn't put it in the show. But there is a story to be told.
I remember that. I remember that comment. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, I remembered. It took me a second to get to that one.
Have we concluded that Charlotte is either an anime or a mixed media franchise yet? Like,
well, the only thing that's coming is a manga that might put in more details.
The manga was an adaptation, and the 4-koma was canon, but it was mostly just silliness.
Yeah.
The manga is more like they call it a comicalize.
Oh, so it's kind of it's a retelling, but it's silly.
Yes, it's okay. Not silly, but anyway. Oh, I bought the first volume of the manga. It looks pretty sweet. Anyway.
Okay. But yeah, so I guess this is still mostly an anime.
Yes, mostly.
But yeah,
anime,
I think that's just like it's a hint that there's probably more to come, and I would highly doubt that we're not going to see her anymore. Like, there's got to be more.
She'll be in the drama CDs.
There's gotta be
or the
more.
OVA.
Come on.
Yes.
Both highly possible, actually, but anyway.
Yeah, it's just we don't know what's going to happen in these next 3 episodes, but there's still a lot of untouched things. Like, what's the deal with Takajo's family and even Yu's family? Like, we still don't know what's going on there.
And now
even back when
dad.
Well, yeah. Even back when Shinsuke Time Leap, there's still no parents there, so we still don't know what happened to their parents. There's never any parents.
Never.
Hey man, if Air and Little Busters both talked about parents without them being super integral, well, Air's is kind of integral, but anyways, then I think it is a reason for question to point out the fact that they haven't said anything in regards to the fact that Now doesn't have a father.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot they could go with. I still have no idea. I'm definitely feeling more critical than I was an episode before. But, you know. Like, maybe this series isn't going to be so perfect, amazing Jinmaida experience. But I still think there's things we can get out of it and an enjoyment that can be had from watching it. And, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going at the moment.
There are times when I feel like I'm being too critical about the series and it's taking away my enjoyment. So for the next episodes, I shouldn't be too critical, hopefully.
The massive issue I have with the series is the connectivity between the characters, for me personally. So, like, it's very hard for me to, like, care about a lot of things because I feel like we haven't really gotten enough time to spend with a lot of the characters that has been valuable.
They should have made the anime the anime about Shinsuke and Now.
Which is why I'm going to, like, try to rewatch everything to try to get a really good understanding of all the characters and how I feel about them. I don't dislike them, but there's so little there and it causes a big problem. Which I think everyone kind of expected, but we'll just have to see what happens. I think as far as the big picture is concerned, I think there's still more to come, so I'm holding judgment until I've seen it all. Just like Maida says, he's like, I ain't seen episode 13 yet, so I can't tell you whether or not I think it's a good work or not, so I'll just
even he hasn't seen episode 13 by the time of that interview. Okay.
I'll see what happens. Well, I guess that's everything, gentlemen. I hope you see everybody else on our next podcast, because we'll be talking about the next episode sparing in a few hours. We'll get a lot of our questions answered, hopefully, maybe, or probably just open up a whole new bag of treats.
At least we get to know what Charlotte means, thank God.
Yeah, because guess what episode 11 is called? Charlotte. It'll be airing in, a couple hours, probably right after or right as this is posted. Probably after. And, we'll be seeing you all here again next week to talk about it, I suppose. So, thanks for joining us, and go buy your Zend albums, please. Let's feel good.